Social Talk podcast. Today, listen, this season we're going to have a really exciting season. We have a lot of good guests. We have a lot of new people coming on the show this season. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Today, this is the first episode of our third season of the Mills Social Talk podcast. And today, as I told you guys last year, Renzo, this is his first year. You've met Renzo last year. And I want to start off this season with him this year to say, what have we learned in the last 12 months?
Yeah.
So he's came on with this a year ago. So, and if you're thinking about coming on and actually going ahead and being in real estate, call us, join us. And guys, I really want you guys to share this podcast. Like it, share it, and we want to get it out to the masses. So, Renzo, let's talk about your first year.
Well,
all right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Renzo, aka Realtor Renzo. That's the kind of persona that I've been trying to cultivate and grow. This kind of brand, you know what I mean? Of course, you got your hat.
Yeah,
right?
I got my hat.
You got your hat. You're known as the Mills. You're like Mr. Mills. But I got to make a name for myself.
Right.
So,
you got to brand yourself.
You're right. So Realtor Renzo is kind of, but Renzo Loyola is my real name. But yeah, I mean, it's, last December marks my full year in real estate. I've learned a lot, and I'm here to share my experience, I guess.
Well, let me say this: when Renzo first came to the industry, I guess you were looking around.
Yeah.
For somewhere, and I felt we connected, and to be honest, in this business, relationship is everything. If you're at a broker, if you're at a brokerage, you never connected with your broker. I mean, you need to move on, but I'm not going to tell you that. That's up to you. But we connected, and so we've been close ever since, and he's been here to kind of, and Renzo, I always tell him I appreciate him being here because he has helped a lot in moving forward, in helping with a lot of deals. In some of my clients, sometimes I don't get to, and he's right there to pick up the pace and just run with it. So I really appreciate him, and I want to tell him that publicly that I do appreciate him being at Mills Realty.
Thank you.
So that's something that I really, really appreciate. So we want to talk about the fact that you come into the business. What was your expectation coming into this business?
So, I mean, a little background is kind of important, right? So, graduated 2020, middle of COVID. Right, like you got to imagine, I didn't even graduate, we went on spring break and then I never went back to school. And so, after I had virtually graduated, and, we were in the middle of pandemic and not going anywhere, I was just thinking about my options, about my career. And, real estate just was one of those circumstance kind of decisions, like needed to make money, needed to start a career. What should I do? And I, talked to my parents and I, let me get my real estate license. Went and did my real estate license. Thank God I took the test once and I passed it. So lucky. But, I was shopping around, so to say. I was calling Baird & Warner. I was calling RE/MAX. I was calling April Properties, at Properties. I was like calling everyone around my local area about, I just Googled brokerages near me because after you get your license, you need someone to sponsor your stuff. So just calling around, and I felt like every managing broker I talked to was trying to pitch a deal to me. They were like, we got this. We got, with your $95 a month, you'll get this. You know what I mean? And you're going to get this. It seemed like a pitch. It seemed like they were trying to make me buy into something. And then, I saw Mills Realty, and I called him, and I was near the area, so he was like, hey, can you come in today? And I did, and I think one of the first things I told Lee was, I'm tired of being a house cat. I'm tired.
You did say that.
I'm just like, I'm tired of just sitting here. I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to just do. But what I think I like about what Leroy had to offer was, he cared more about me developing my career. I think in the onset of the conversation, it was, you're going to be here every day, and it's going to be hard, but it's all about developing the career. He wasn't trying to sell me anything or make me buy into something. It was about being here and putting in the work. And I think that's where it kind of started out. And I've been really...
Well, that just comes from when I started many years ago. My broker told me, listen, you got to come to the office.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to make it in business, you cannot do this virtually. You can't. I mean, well, back then it was virtually. I mean, you know, some people. I'm a part-time realtor, but I'm a stay-at-home. So, I developed because I spent my time at the office, and you never know. And I tell Renzo, there's time when you'll be busy as the first time, and then there's a time when you're going to be. And I gave him the real what it's going to be. There's time when you're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. But coming out of college, being at home, he had the ability to withstand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized he has the ability to withstand it. So we kind of came in and said, okay, sometimes your lows are there and sometimes your lows are here. But it all depends on how you whatever you put into this business, that's what you're going to get. And some people want to come into real estate. I've spoken to many people who want to come into real estate because of money.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want this to be your career, you got to work at it.
Right.
Just like going to a job every day. You can't oh, well, you know, the game is on, so I'm going to stay home. No. You got to work.
Right.
Right?
You got to put the hours in.
You got to put the hours in. There's time when you can relax a little bit.
I think I had a pretty healthy or realistic kind of expectation going into it. Like you said, a lot of people go into this, you know, they're a lot more older than I am, and they've been working a job a certain amount of years, and let me go into real estate because that's where the big money's at. And yes, this is where the big money's at. But as you said, like, you have to work at it. And I knew that coming into the real estate, being an independent contractor, 1099, that if I don't work, I'm not going to get my money, right? And yeah, I think I came in here knowing that it might be rough for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. I knew that it was going to be rough, but I think it was really great that you're giving me a foundation.
Just be real.
Right.
Not just going, you'll make a couple
this
$1,000s first month.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
because some people have that expectation.
Yeah,
they come in, and I've had people who had the expectation like, oh, so what do we do? What do we do? And then turn around, it's like, well, it's kind of going kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like disappointed. Oh man, no, you gotta set yourself, because I think I told Renzo, at his age, he does not know enough people that has home, buy a home. He's coming out of college.
Right.
Your friends are like, hey, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, all of my friends were in the same position as me.
Correct.
We're all looking for jobs. We're all not thinking about real estate. We're all thinking about how do we start a career. And of course, career first, and then you start thinking about buying your. So, but I understand that. But I think what I like to think about is like, well, at least I'm gaining the knowledge now, and I'm not gaining the knowledge later.
Correct.
Right. So I'd rather know now, and so when the time comes, I'm prepared. You know what I mean? And when when that time comes for my friends, and they say, oh, Realtor Renzo, I need to buy a house. You know, we went to high school together. I got you. I've been doing this since we both got out of college. So at least I got it. I know what I'm doing at this point. So
Well, then they'll respect you more, because then they'll know that you've been in the business for the past 5 or 10 years or wherever that is.
Right.
And they have a healthy respect for you because you have been there, you have done it, and you know the difference. I think with the reason why I really kept Renzo. I'm glad he's here because I gave him I'm trying to give him as much knowledge as possible. So when he in the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, he can stand on his own and say, you know what, I got this. You know, I'm trying to put him in different position, different situation. I mean, because in real estate, there's no one client is the same.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people with different situations and different personalities, and so we gotta be, you know, we're holding their hands, and you know, we're their therapists, and you know, I've been in a situation where clients are crying, and you gotta stand there and hold and says it's gonna be okay, and they're being kicked out, and I mean, there's so many different situations.
Yeah. So that's like one thing I've been learning is like, even if I am young, there has been situations where I'm the expert. Where no matter how old they are or how much the age difference between me and my client is, they're looking to me as the expert in the real estate industry. It doesn't matter how young I am, they're looking to you for that knowledge. And so, I mean, there's times where I'm like, I don't know, right?
Yeah,
and so I'm like, okay, let me talk to my managing broker, Lee, or you can call him, or let me ask him first and get back to you. But I think that's a big challenge for me, but a challenge made easier because I know that I have.
And that's a true thing because, I make myself available to you anytime because I have actually talked to other realtors and I've talked to other young realtors and like, so how you doing at your brokerage? Well, I don't really talk to my managing broker. Like, what does that mean? You don't talk to your managing broker? What if something happens? Well, they have a click,
right?
Especially the large firms. They have a click, and it's I'm not so sure. And I'm talking to a young lady who doesn't have that relationship, who can't say, well, hey, Sue, Mary, Tom, I got this going on. What do you think? No, that's not how I operate. I want to be able to. Renzo can call me anytime, and if he's having an issue, let me handle that issue, or let me give him the advice that he needs, and that comes from my early years. I did not have that. I came into the office and I was like, I watched four walls and I got to figure this thing out myself. Right. And I figured that wasn't right for me to do. That for them to do that to me, but it is what it is. And I figured it out and I grew and I grew and I grew. Right. But I would never want that for a young realtor. I think that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but there's got to be moments where I have to be like, let me figure this out.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I mean?
I have to just find my own way. You know what I mean? I can't come to you for everything. You know what I mean? So
well, for certain things, when it comes to the law, I mean,
right.
Real estate,
legal stuff, yes.
We want to, we want to be able to always, I mean, because in a brokerage, of course, his whatever his action does reflect on me. Yeah. So I always want to be close to him just in case something happens. Not that I want to feed him every time, right? But I want him to know that you got this. But if you're ever unsure of something, let me know.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think this past year, I mean, in the beginning, it was really slow because what am I doing? What's a lease? What's this contract? What's this contract? What I'm always asking, like, what's my responsibility? I think that's a common question I ask you all the time. It's like, okay, what's my responsibility here for this situation? What is what's the expectation for me now? So I think what I figured out, at least in this past year, what I'm really confident in is at least buying real estate. On the purchasing side, I feel like I feel very confident to have a client and help them purchase a property. I'm also very confident in a client coming to me and say, hey, I want to find an apartment to rent. I feel very confident in that, and I feel like I can guide a client through that process. To be honest, I mean, there's things that I still haven't done yet, right? I still haven't had my first listing, and that's one of our goals this year is to get my first listings this year. And
I mean, that's normal.
Right, yeah.
For a young broker to not have listings. I mean,
but I will get one. I will get one this year.
No, we'll get a couple.
We will get a couple. We will get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm working at it too. And I think, I mean, transitioning to another part of the, like, really learning the whole branding, marketing side of it, right? And knowing that I have to kind of let go of this certain kind of privacy in my life. You know what I mean? It's like some of the people that grew up with me may know this, but I've never really been much of a social media kind of guy.
But you're pretty good at it.
I'm a good person to person guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like a certain kind of level of privacy in my life, but learning that I have to let that go. That I have to let people know that I am a realtor. I have to let people know that I'm doing this, and I have to put myself in the public. So I can't just shy away and hide in a cave. I'm a realtor, but I'm here and no one knows. But
no secret agent.
Yeah, so I have to. So it's getting out there, spreading the word, posting more, getting over my insecurities when it comes to being out there and just letting people know that this is what I do. Because I always feel kind of slimy, like the snake oil salesman, like, you know what I mean? Let me get some money. I always feel kind of weird, like, telling people that I'm in real estate because it's like, it always feels like I'm trying to steal money from them. You know what I mean? But
But let me say this.
Yeah.
I tell folks, and I've counseled many folks on being a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
You can only make it if you decide to serve. I mean, I want to underline that. Serve.
Yeah.
We as brokers in this business serve people. All right. So if you're coming in trying to make money, don't come. If you're coming in trying to serve, welcome.
Mhm.
Right? Because we serve so a gamut of individuals, a gamut of young and old and in the middle.
Mhm.
And as you said earlier, it's all that you're the expert. So people come to you with their biggest purchase. As we all know,
Right.
that's one of the biggest purchases most people will make is buying a home. So they come to you and they say, I want to buy a home. And I think in one of your things you said, if you're looking for, before you go to your bank, call us.
Right.
Right? Before you do anything, even think about buying a home, call us. So we are here to serve people at all times.
Right.
We're never here to, and we take the responsibility of looking for you more than we making money.
Mhm.
And we try to we here at least with Mills Realty, we want to make sure that you're okay and not us, and that's our goal all the time. Because during my career, I've always put my clients first before I think about making a dollar.
Right.
Make sure they're getting the property that they want, and I've been placed in a situation many times where people bring their dad along or their mom, and they say, and I remember a poignant story. This one girl said, "My dad's coming," and I said, "Okay." And Dad came, and Dad said, "Well, we'll buy this house." And I said, "Well, let your dad sell you the house because I ain't selling you the house
Mhm.
because I know that house was not worth it." And as a friend of mine, as a client of mine, I'm not gonna sell you that.
Right.
Because I need for you to come back to me and send more. So it's all about me serving you properly. So when you get in your house, you're like,
Right.
Mills Realty sold me that house.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think I get that. Like, just trying to serve. Like, I mean, currently I'm working with a, client. We're trying to find a house in Waukegan, and it's just like, and we've been searching since the summer, you know what I
It's
mean?
been a while.
But it's just, we've been working together for so long that I know what she wants.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I just know. There's no like question in my mind. Do you like this? Do you like this? We would both go in the house and be like, this is not it. This is not it. We're wasting our time. But I think what I struggle with this whole like branding thing, it's just like asking people, you know what I mean? Like, let me serve you. I don't know. I just feel kind of weird to be like, hey, let me help you. You know what I mean? But
it's service, though.
Getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
There it is. It's just, that's the biggest thing that I've kind of been struggling with, is getting out of my comfort zone. But I guess that's good, you know what I mean?
It's good. It's like, because you get to know and understand other people and what they want, and so the reason why I encourage you guys and I work with you guys to counsel people, because whenever you come into an office, never try to sell that personal property, because you don't know what they want.
Right.
You want to find out where they live now, where they work, how many kids, what kind of mortgage they want to pay. Are you married? Are you not? So I gotta know you.
Right.
Before I even think about trying to get you, whether it's a lease or a home,
Mhm.
I gotta know you. I gotta
Yeah.
so tell me about you, not that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna sell you a house, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about you, and so you be in this business. I'm so proud of you for kind of sticking it out this year, because then you get to understand the service part, the business part of this thing. I mean, and I know I'm gonna be taking you to, as you go along, to many different areas and many different avenues in this business, which more than likely you will learn faster than the quote unquote realtor who goes to a major company, because you have direct access to me. So
Yeah.
you learn a lot more and a lot faster and a lot more hands on. But as I teach you, whenever someone comes, find out, sit down first and understand who they are.
Right. Yeah, no, that's what I think one of the best things that you've ever told me is like, never, when you come in and you meet somebody, don't talk about business first. That's you don't talk.
No,
You want to know the person first. You never want to start off with business. And I'm learning that, because I think you and me, like, I'm very good with people. I think you know that. Like, I can talk to whoever on the street. I can talk to a waitress. I can talk to a server. I can just talk to anybody, and I think it would be a good conversation. But now, it's just turning that into the sales person and melding that, then that's where I guess that's where I'm learning. That's what I'm learning is like, okay, I'm good at talking to people and I'm very personable, but it's now learning to
mesh that
together with the service, the sales, the numbers, the business. It's just, okay, I have a good base of just being a good talker and a good personable guy, but a salesman is different. And
a salesman too got to listen.
Yeah.
To what the client's needs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and for those of you who are listening to this podcast, you've heard of people say, "Hey, well, I want to spend $300,000," and the broker says, "Well, you can probably go to $400,000." I mean, that client didn't say $400,000; it says $300,000. They know. I mean, there's time when they have some leverage in there, and they may not get that home for $300,000, but they may get one for $325 that suits their need. But sometimes brokers want to upsell, and that's not fair. That's not fair to that client who's like, no, I don't want to spend that money.
Right.
I want to spend $300,000, maybe $310,000, maybe $295 or $280. You know what I'm saying? So we have to listen, and that's something that all brokers have to learn. You got to listen, and why they want to spend that money. Get their qualification, you know what I'm saying? And so listen to their needs, because they could be approved for $300,000 and they could spend $400,000, but they don't want to spend $400,000, but a $300,000 would meet their needs. So don't try to upsell them if you don't have to. Right? Just let people realize that I want to give you what you asked. I'll do my best to give that to you. Right. And let them feel like, right. Renzo did a good job for me.
I think that's like the forefront of whenever I talk to a client or your client or whoever I'm helping. It's just, I always try to be, I want to make my parents proud. I want to be a good person, right? Always just be a respectable person. And I think if I'm just a respectable, nice, kind, and good person, I think a lot of those things will line up for me, right? I think that's just how I think about it. But again, it's just like the nervousness of being a young realtor, we say this all the time, not knowing what you don't know. I don't know what I don't know. So there's certain times where the conversation's great, but then when it becomes, when we're talking about taxes, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, and then I just get nervous because sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know. It'll all come.
Yeah.
And as you continue your career, you'll find out that things become easier. Yeah. Like your math becomes easier. Right. Because you can tell a client, oh, you know what? You'll spend another $50 a month because it's, or you spend another $500 a month because it's $130,000 or whatever that number is.
Or and just like knowing the cost of like installing an AC unit, $5,000 to $6,000. You know what I mean? Like how much would this load bearing walls? Just like knowing. I think that's really good. Like I've been going to a lot with inspections, and I've just been learning a lot about construction, and I think that's important too. Like there's a lot about this business that I have yet to scratch. I've only scratched the surface on a lot of these things, like loans, different kinds of loans, VA loans, this kind. You know what I mean? 203K loans, and then when someone comes in and say, "Oh, I want to do this," I want to install this and that, and I'm like, can you? I don't know whether or not you could install a window there. Is that allowed? I don't know. And so,
but that's what you do when you're working at it,
right? But
when you're in the business every day.
But sometimes I'm proud because sometimes I know it's like, hey, that's not a load bearing wall. You can't break that down. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel proud whenever I get into those situations. So
but you would be amazed,
right?
That as you're with me and you're understanding that kind of stuff, there's realtors that have been in the business for years and don't know,
right?
You'd be amazed at some of the brokers that I don't know. Right. Right? But it's just, that's what I'm saying, your knowledge would be so much more advanced than realtors that have been in there 5 or 10 years, because they're all about, okay, let's do a contract and sale, where they don't know the full gamut of real estate,
the totality of it.
Correct, and what all it needs. Yeah. One time I was doing a deal with a realtor. She'd been in the business for years, and I was trying to talk to her about financing. And as simple as I said, well, we can get that done through an articles for deed. And I was amazed. She's like, what is, what are you talking about?
Right.
I'm like, it's an articles for deed, and I expect as an experienced realtor, but literally some people don't know.
Right.
So you learning these things, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
you know, you get to be very averse of, but actually you become a better realtor
Mm-hmm.
when you're fully rounded,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
right? Because you'll know construction. Let's say you'll know construction. You have a good understanding of what it takes to move this wall and to push this here and to
Right.
open this wall. You know what? You can do that. That'll cost you about so much, but let's get a contractor's opinion on that.
Right.
Well, you know what? This doesn't really work for you, but or you can walk into a home and tell the realtor, you know
Can
what?
we get credit for this? Can we not? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Can
you
we
know,
get this repaired? Not, you know what I mean?
and you will have an idea. This worked. This doesn't work. This worked. This doesn't. So that's what I'm saying. So you, Rollins, have become a better realtor, a realtor that's more valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you not just don't know how to fill in a contract.
Right.
There's so much more around that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy that I joined Mills, man. And if anybody else wants to join the team, like, I vouch for Leroy. I vouch for this company. They've been really great to me, really good to me. And if you want to, I mean, I seriously believe that I'm developing a career here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not just.
That's my goal.
Yeah, you know, I definitely believe that I'm developing and building a foundation for a better career. And I feel like you've been doing it the right way, and I wouldn't want it any other way. Definitely.
All right, so guys, I'm thankful this is Renzo's first year. We'll probably bring him back in the second year.
Hey.
And his anniversary or something. But I'm thankful that you guys get to watch Renzo and hear how he's been over the past year. I mean, he's been my right hand. He's helped me quite a bit. And I think I put out the last time that I was looking for, not that I want to let you go, but I'm looking for another young realtor so as to try to bring into the fold.
Yeah.
And to mentor. So Renzo, he has done a year of mentorship. He is sort of, can't let him go yet, but he's trodden his way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So sooner or later, you guys will hear about Renzo all over. He's gonna be a part of Mills Realty for a long time.
Definitely.
And so, hey guys, please share it. Please share it. Please let us know if you like it. Please comment. Please like. Please follow, and help us to grow Mills Realty. So we really appreciate it that you're listening. Please follow, share. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you again. This is Leroy at Mills Realty. Thanks for listening to the Mill Social Talk Podcast. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.